if that's the case, like if that's what you're afraid of, people telling you to essentially F off, you have to get over that, because there will be mean people. There will be people that aren't interested, and that's okay. You strike them off your list and you go on to the next one, to the people that could be interested. There's no magic in this business. If you want to get clients in your real estate photography business, then you're going to have to put in actual work to get those clients. It might be a little bit of a task to get your brain thinking about the things that you have to do in order to get those clients. Maybe you're psyching yourself out, not really sure what your first steps that you need to take are. So I'm making this video to tell you exactly what first steps you need to take. As long as your materials are where they need to be. Let's say you spent a bunch of time learning how to take really good photos, really good videos, really good virtual tours, all the services that you can take, or maybe you don't have, a drone, you don't have a 360 camera, whatever. You just have a newer iPhone and you have a camera and a nice lens and a tripod. You can get real estate photography clients with just that gear. So the most bang for your buck in terms of client acquisition is going to be doing brokerage presentations. But you might be concerned that because you're not a professional in this field yet, you don't really know what you're going to say at a brokerage presentation. I do have a brokerage presentation that you can download using the link below, but don't worry about that quite yet. I talked about in another video the best method to get your portfolio built and get clients at the same time, and that's going to be going into open houses and offering to take sample photos. And I wanted to expand on that just real quick. If the first thing that you do is just every weekend you start hitting open houses and introducing yourself to people, that's going to be a really good way to get clients. Okay. I talked about this in this video just before, so you can go and watch that now. I'll expand on it a little bit right now. But even if you go into an open house and you don't have any portfolio, you have your camera and tripod in hand and you're like, hey, I'm so-and-so with XYZ real estate photography. I just want to take some sample photos just to show you what I'm capable of doing. Even if they say no, chances are they're still going to be impressed that you came in and introduced yourself and are trying to network. So they'll give you their contact information anyways, and it might turn into something that is really useful. I just got off of a coaching call with one of my students in East Coast somewhere. I can't remember the exact state, but I told him the same thing. I was like, hey man, start hitting open houses. And he went to 5 of them on Saturday. And he said that he wasn't able to take any sample photos of any of the properties, but every single one of the realtors that he networked with were like, hey, it's great to meet you. Let me give you my phone number and we'll keep in touch. And he's already gotten 2 shoots from that. So if you're doing that every single weekend, let's say you're hitting 5 open houses on Saturday and 5 open houses on Sunday, that's 10 potential realtors to network with. And you don't have to do it in your immediate area. If you have a car and you can drive, any distance, it doesn't matter if you're going 15 miles away to different open houses. You go where the money is. If you live in a slightly more rural area, then go to the nearest city and then hit all those open houses in order to network with these people. Because here's what's going to happen. You're going to go to the first set of open houses and you're going to network with 4 or 5 people. And then you've got 4 or 5 people added to a spreadsheet in order to contact later. That's another key of this that I'll talk about in just a sec. The next day, you go to 5 more, and you got 5 more. So you've got 10 total. The next weekend, maybe you hit another 10. So now you've got 20 people in your network arsenal that you can reach out to and nurture the lead. Essentially, all this is meeting people and nurturing the leads. If you're anything like me and you're in the entrepreneurial space, there's so much out there that you just kind of get analysis paralysis, where it's like, I don't really know what I should be doing first. Should I do this? Should I do Instagram marketing? Should I build a website? All these things. And yes, everything is worth doing. You don't want to just latch onto one thing and only do that. You do want to touch on everything that you possibly can to get the broadest exposure. But if that is crippling you up front, then start with one thing. And that one thing should be going to open houses just to meet people. Because like I said, there's so many things out there where you can get really confused and not sure, where you need to start and get analysis paralysis and all that stuff. Real estate is still kind of an old style industry. Yes, people will reach out to you on Instagram to get shoots done, but a lot of people in your local market, if they need a photographer, they'll ask someone they know who they use, and then they'll use that. So it's very like peer-to-peer networking related. So you have to do the classic handshake method where you go into brokerages, you go into open houses and you introduce yourself. If you're If you're not getting clients and you haven't gone into open houses just because you're like, oh, I'm scared or whatever, that's the thing that you should be doing. That's the thing that will get you clients. So, you don't have, I see on Reddit all the time of people being like, well, how do I get more clients? How do I get more clients? I'm posting to Instagram, nothing's happening. I'm cold calling and nothing's happening. Though, cold calling is great and you should absolutely do that as well. Walk into open houses. You can go on, like, if you don't know how to find open houses, go onto Zillow, type in open houses and it'll ascertain your area. It'll be a little pop up on your Google Chrome, be like, share location. Yes. Or you can type in the zip code in Zillow and it'll show you all the open houses and their schedules. And even, I think, who's listing it, like who's listing that property. So you can go to all these open houses. Chances are, even if you hit the same open house a couple weekends in a row, it's going to be a different realtor talking about it, because there's there's an app that realtors can use to like say, hey, I have a property that I want to have an open house for, but I don't want to go. You can do it because, typically buyers agents will host open houses a lot, so they can meet potential buyers coming in and be like, well, I'm just hosting this open house. This isn't actually my listing, and so on and so forth. So that really, you need to be going into open houses. It's just non-negotiable. If you want to earn clients, you want to start working, you're going to have to meet people. You can't just buy a camera, buy a lens, post some pictures on Instagram and a website and think that the inquiries are going to roll through without you doing a little bit of boots on the ground work. You have to get it done. And, yes, I understand, like, you might be slightly more awkward or unsure of what to say. But here's the thing. If you aren't willing to go out and do these things that are uncomfortable to build your business, you won't have a business, and, you'd be better off just working somewhere for someone else. If building a business was easy, everybody would do it. Everybody would have a business. Everybody would be working for themselves. But it's not easy. It's really, really hard. And you have to constantly be pushing yourself out of your comfort zone in order to do these things, to get more clients, to build your business. It's not going to be easy. You have to meet people. You have to push yourself out of your comfort zone. Go into open houses. That's number one. And then I told you that I was going to talk about the purpose of all these first contacts. The purpose of each first contact is not to pitch them their services. Like, if you walk into an open house, you don't want to say, hey, my name's Jordan. I own XYZ real estate photography. Do you have any listings that I can shoot? Or like, hey, have you already gotten a video done for this property? You don't want to do that. You just want to go to let them know that you exist. So whether, like, if you're cold calling them, the cold call script that I do is, hey, this is Jordan. I'm sorry, this is a cold call. I hate doing cold calls and I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to sell you anything today. I just want to let you know I exist. And then I go into the spiel. It's like a 10-second call, 15-second call. And then the whole thing of it is I get their permission to put them in a spreadsheet. And I've had a couple hater comments being like, oh, I don't, that's such a childish way to do it. And, if people are calling me multiple times, I'm just going to ignore I'm going to block their phone number, whatever. Don't listen to those people. Just do it. It will be fine. If, like, your whole goal, like, if you're reaching out to people on a consistent schedule, like 2 weeks have gone by and you call them again, they don't have anything. 2 weeks go by, you call them, they don't have anything. 2 weeks later, they might have something. So that was not wasted time. And you have to hit these people when it's fresh. Like in my coaching program, for instance, if somebody fills out a coaching application and I ignore it for 3 weeks, that lead is gone. You know what I mean? Like, I missed the opportunity window of when they were interested in the coaching program to reach out to them. And I've done that kind of a lot recently. So if you're interested in coaching and I haven't gotten back to you and you have the budget for it, fill out another application, and I will be prompt this time, I promise. You have to hit people when they're in the need. So if you're reaching out to someone for real estate services because you told them, like, hey, I want to, figure out a good time to collaborate with you, and then you don't follow up again, they're going to forget you. These are busy people, and you can't operate just thinking that they're going, like, these realtors are going to reach out to you when they need you. You have to stay fresh on their minds. So that's the whole purpose of creating content so that you're visible on social media, creating a website so that someone searches that you're visible, going into open houses so people can put a face to a name, going into brokerages so that you can network with as many people as possible and do brokerage presentations so people know that you know what you're doing and can see an immediate thing. Because here's the main crux of it. If someone doesn't need a photographer right now, they're not going to use you. But that doesn't mean that you can't continue to reach out to them until they either hire you, they have a need, or they tell you that they're not interested and they never want to work with you. if that's the case, like if that's what you're afraid of, people telling you to essentially F off, you have to get over that, because there will be mean people. There will be people that aren't interested, and that's okay. You strike them off your list and you go on to the next one, to the people that could be interested. If someone tells you at an open house, let's say you walk in and you're like, hey, I'm so-and-so with XYZ Real Estate Photography. I'm not trying to sell anything right now. I just really want to introduce myself and keep in touch with you. If that's okay, I could take some sample images to share what I'm good at. And if they're like, yeah, totally, that's awesome, nice to meet you, take down my phone number, send me the materials that you do. Or, you know what, the sellers aren't really comfortable with people taking photos. We already had photos done, but take down my phone number. I am interested. I might have something for you. They're literally telling you, keep in touch with me. I might have something for you in a while. If you're not reaching out to them and nurturing that lead, then nothing's ever going to come from it. And you can't be like sad that you're not getting clients, because by and large, real estate photography clients are not going to reach out to you. You have to reach out to them. And I know that's like slightly bummer news, because you want this to be as easy as possible. And, you already have all your gear. So your brain is telling you like, oh, I already did it. But, that's a fallacy. You actually have to go out and continue to do things. It's a continual effort. It's going to take some time. And as long as what you're doing is like worthwhile and it's something that you're spending a lot of time doing on a consistent basis, you will see the results, but you have to actually start. So coaching program down below. I look forward to seeing you in it. That's all I got today. I just wanted to do a quick video kind of chatting a little bit about that, because it was on the subject of a couple of my coaching calls today, but I got to jump on another one in about 3 minutes. So see you in the next one. Goodbye.